Hi, welcome back. And it's a pleasure to have here in the studio from the General Conference headquarters, the headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the US, Dr. David Trim. How are you, David?
I'm good, Ken. I'm glad to be with you.
Now, you're with the Office of Archives and Statistics. Did I get that right?
Archive, statistics and research, but it's
and
almost
research.
there, yes.
So you're stuck down there in the basement with lots of shelves and dusty boxes full of paper. That's sort of how I imagine it. Am I far off?
You're close, except these days increasingly we also have lots of computers because we digitise documents and then make them available, some of them available on the internet for anyone to research. And the statistics likewise. If anyone is interested in statistics of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, for example, they can go to www.adventiststatistics.org, and you can find everything you want to know now or for the past 150 years.
Well, there you go. If you're having trouble getting to sleep, there's... No.
It would help with that, I imagine.
It would help. Now, they do say lies, lies, and more statistics, don't they?
Lies, damn lies, and then statistics are even worse.
Yes.
Disraeli said it probably in the 1860s, so it's been true for an awfully long time.
There you go. So when we look at, Christianity, it's the world's largest religion.
It is.
But by far, it is growing. But what do statistics tell us about the nature of that growth?
That's a good question, Kent, partly because statistics, they are problematic. And so, for example, the Seventh-day Adventist Church has gone traditionally to great lengths to collect accurate statistics, but it turns out that in some parts of the world we've been very good at adding and not at subtracting people who've left, and so we've had to work on that. Some churches, some denominations are very good at record keeping on statistics. Others, basically, once you're baptized, they claim you forever, even if you never go as an adult or join another church. And when it comes to other religions, there's census data from various countries, there's estimates. So, we're not talking at incredible details of precision, but when it comes to, say, orders of magnitude, yes, we can speak with some confidence. And even though Islam gets an awful lot of press, and even though most of India's over 1 billion population are Hindus, Christianity is the world's largest religion, and that isn't going to change. The evidence shows that, in fact, Christianity is growing at such a rate. Islam or Hinduism are not going to take it over anytime soon.
Oh, okay, because I'd heard that the rate of growth in other religions was actually faster than the rate of growth of Christianity.
It depends which form of Christianity too. There's different forms and they grow at different rates. But Christianity overall is growing faster than Islam around the world. Again, bearing in mind the sort of caveats that I gave about but in terms of the broad trends are clear. But that isn't to say that Christianity is growing everywhere.
Yeah, well, and that comes to my next question, really. So, where is Christianity, going great guns, and where is it struggling?
Christianity is immensely strong in Latin America and sub-Saharan Africa.
Okay.
So that's Africa, not North Africa, which is heavily Islamic and Christianity is an endangered species, but in the areas sort of around West Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, all the way across through to East Africa and then down to the Cape of Good Hope. Christianity is flourishing there. Islam is there. What sociologists of religion call African traditional religions are there.
So animism, ancestor worship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Witchcraft, these are powerful things. But Christianity is growing phenomenally there, and also in Latin America. Now, it is interesting, Kent, Brazil is starting to feel the effects of postmodernism.
Okay.
Historically, it had always been, this is a very Christian area. But at the moment, church leaders of different faiths in Brazil are noticing that they're being impacted by postmodern trends from Europe and America. But I have to tell you, having visited there recently, their postmodernism is of a different type of postmodernism to say to the urbanized post-Christian West.
When you say postmodernism, do you mean statistics are showing there is more atheism, more agnostic
no,
people
and this
in
is,
there?
this is the interesting thing. Atheism is flourishing nowhere.
Okay.
Atheism does not flourish. Agnosticism, or people who say, this is the classic response, I'm spiritual but not religious. People who say, I'm drawn to spirituality, I believe there's a God, but I will declare myself having an affinity with no religion. Those are what's on the rise in the Western world. And so, for example, there was a recent opinion poll by the Pew Center, which is a major, very reliable polling center in the United States, and it summarized its results on religion with the heading, "The Rise of the Nuns." And we're not thinking here of women in white headdresses, but nun, people who say, which religion do you declare an affinity with? None of the above.
No religion.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean to say they're atheists. So atheism is not growing. Most people still feel a call towards the spiritual, towards God, but they don't want to declare an affinity with a particular religion. That's the story in North America, Western Europe, Australasia, and increasingly parts of South Africa and Brazil.
Do you have any idea why that is? Like, why are people say, yes, I'm a spiritual person, but institutional religion just turns me off?
There's a lot of reasons for that, but a lot of it comes down to suspicion of religion and the view which you hear time and time again. It's often about Christianity, but religion is oppressive, it is repressive, it is all about power, it is not transparent, it puts down women, it puts down gays, it puts down, insert here. And we have to be honest and say there's an historical background to that, and there is some truth behind it, though it also misses the wider point about the real character of Christianity. But still, in some parts of the world, Christianity is growing and flourishing. But, if we look at missiologists coined this expression, the 1040 window.
Yes, yeah.
For a part of the world between the 10th and 40th parallels.
So this is just above the equator to fairly high up, or
from just exactly,
and all the way from China
across to Europe,
the Middle East,
to the Middle East, and across to West Africa, and it creates this kind of window on the world. This is the area of the great world religions: Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and also the Chinese communist version of Confucianism and Taoism, which rival Christianity. This is an area with many governments that don't allow for religious freedom, and this is also an area that includes some extraordinarily rich countries, but some ones with desperate poverty. So for all of these reasons, Christianity is deeply challenged there to spread, and Christianity is a minority religion in all of those.
Okay. Just quickly as we finish, David, because we are nearly out of time, we talked about Latin America and sub-Saharan Africa, how the church is growing very fast there. Are there tips we can take from those areas that we can apply in the 1040 window or in the postmodern West?
The 1040 window has its own challenges, but in the postmodern West, yes, it is that witnessing to Jesus is not something done by professionals, by the pastor. The ordinary member in the pew can't just leave it to the pastor and say it's his job, it's our job as well.
Because there's not a pastor half the time in some of those countries.
And that's the reason they're growing. People take responsibility, and I would say our church members need to do that as well.
Wow, time to step up. Hey, thanks so much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ken.
We'll take a short break now. See you after the break.